Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. So this video was supposed to happen almost a month ago. And I say that because, well, Willa's almost 13 months old. But I didn't want to make this video until she was completely done breastfeeding because I wanted to finally answer the question that I have been getting over and over again, and that is, how did I go about weaning her? So I thought, why not incorporate that information into her 1 year video. So first off, let's start off with some stats. And you know, this technically wouldn't be the stats for her actual 12 months of life. It's really 13 months of life, more or less, but we're just gonna do 1 year old and just call it that. She is in size 18 to 24 months clothing. She's in size 6 diapers, although she probably could fit into size 5 too. She's like in between 5 and 6. She's actually only 20 pounds, 8 ounces. So her weight has slowed down drastically. Her pediatrician's not worried, I'm not worried, but it seems like the second that she started crawling, she was just like go, 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 and she started burning off so much more energy. And then I feel like the transition from breast to food, they always kind of like level out their weight gain. And her height was, I think, right in between 31 inches and 31 and a half. I think she was like right around there. She's a tall baby. She's definitely still in the high 90 percentile range. But yeah, so now I have a tall skinny baby instead of a tall chubby baby. Her feet have gotten so big so fast. So she was in like a size 1 shoe at like 10 months old, a size 2 shoe at 11 months old, and now she's in a size 4 shoe. So her foot finally caught up to her little body. If I look like sweaty, it's because I decided to start a new adventure, and I'll talk about that in a little bit because I definitely want to do a postpartum update as well. For those of you who are just chiming in for the first time, Willa has benign congenital hypotonia. She has low muscle tone. It's really difficult for her. She takes a longer period of time to gain like motor skills just because she has to work that, like, you know, extra hard. Just think of it as her having like negative muscle, and then she has to kind of like work to like where regular babies start, and then she has to like surpass that. I know that's a weird way of putting it, and that's not how it works like medically, but that kind of just like helps people. She just understand. She just kind of has to put extra work towards everything that she does. She's still not walking. She can stand up on her own though without holding on to anything, which is a huge milestone for her. We also just got her a bunch of different shoes. She has a few pairs of New Balance shoes now. Those are supposed to be the best for babies who are having issues walking or who have issues with like low muscle tone. So we got her a pair of those in size wide. She has orthotic inserts now that are custom made for her foot. We put those insoles in for her, and that helps her stand correctly in like positioning. She basically is going to have flat feet. Like, I can call it right now. They say it's too early to tell, but this kid has flat feet. Dan's feet, my husband, are like the flattest feet I've ever seen in my entire life. They're like boards. It's like the weirdest thing ever. I never actually realized that like flat feet were actually like that flat. But that's gonna be my daughter, I can just tell you right now. Other than that, she's doing really well. I mean, she's able to do everything that a normal baby can do that doesn't have hypotonia, and she, you know, is reaching milestones. She's super fast crawler, and she, you know, likes to hold on to things and walk around and couch surf and stuff like that. As far as like, I'm almost freaked out. Like, I don't think people truly understand how freaky it is to have a 1-year-old talk the way that she does. You know, like those kids that you see on Ellen DeGeneres that can name every single area on a map, and they're like 2? This is Willa. She is a sponge. I almost feel like she's gonna be the next like Einstein. She is freakishly smart, like abnormally smart. Not just like, oh, she talks so young, like weird. Like, I'm trying to explain like how weird it is. So I've been trying to document it a little bit more, so I'm gonna go through all my footage. I think I have some like Instagram stories. I'm gonna see if I can insert them into this video just so that you guys can kind of see what I mean. A brush? Yeah, it's a brush. This? No, you can't have it. Willa, anyone else's child like this? They want this. No. Look, she asked for all of these things. What? This? 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 No, that's Cuckoo's teddy. No teddy. You want your brush? What would you like? Brush. Okay. Yay, brush! What? Touch? No touching? Those. What are they? Flowers. Yeah, flowers. Flowers, right. What is it? What's that? What is it?
Yeah, bubbles.
Yeah, bubbles.
Bubbles.
Yeah, bubbles.
Bubbles.
Bubbles, right. Yeah, she wants to buy. Yeah, I know. Get down. You want to get down? Okay. Watch this little monkey. Watch her. Vroom. Vroom. Willa. Cheese. 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 Last night we were reading her a book, and we like opened the book to a page. It's one of those books that will have like, you know, a picture and it'll have a word underneath it. So we have like a farm one. And I opened the page and it's a pair of rain boots, and she points to them and says rain boots. Like, what? She's like, rain boots. I'm like, what? She points to the tree that's next to it, and she's like, outside? And she's like pointing out the window, and I'm like, Cooper didn't even have this many words at 2. Flower, outside, this, that, ball, doll, baby, mom, dad, hi, bye, dog, mush. I can just keep going on and on. So her vocabulary is just like shockingly advanced. Willa absolutely loves food, all types of food. She'll eat absolutely anything. Yesterday we were at a picnic. I tried to give her all like typical traditional baby foods, you know, like a piece of zucchini, and she was going crazy for the steak. So she was just sitting there and like hamming on a piece of steak. So that's Willa for you when it comes to food. Her sleep schedule is 2 naps. She takes one around 8:30 to about 10. So 8:30 to 10, sometimes 10:30, and then she'll take one around like 1 to 2-ish and sleep until like 3 to 4-ish. So she's definitely gotten lengthier naps, which is amazing, and I'm so not used to it because Cooper just had half an hour nap. So for me, I feel like I like am missing a baby for 2 hours. Like, where's my kid? It's sort of strange to just like not have her around for that long. But yeah, that's her sleep schedule. She goes to bed at 6 and she wakes up at 5:30 now. But the reason why they're waking up so early is because we just moved into a new house and we don't have blinds yet. So they're waking up with the sun, which is not fun. So we have blinds coming. They should be here any day now, and then we're going to get them installed and mama can sleep more. Mama can hopefully sleep in, because 5:30 is not it. I could do 6:30. I can even do 7. That would be great. But 5:30 is like not a normal time to wake up, in my opinion. Her favorite person is definitely Cooper, without a doubt. Loves Cooper. They make each other laugh. Every time she's on the changing table, she gets a little like fussy, and I'm like, Cooper, come here, come make Willa laugh. And Cooper comes running over because he feels included and like he has a task at hand. He loves it. They're like huskies. You like need to give kids tasks, like, and then they just behave so much better. Anyway, weird fact. He comes running over and he'll like make her laugh, and she starts laughing and he starts laughing and everyone's happy, and I can just easily change a diaper. It's great. Put a 2.5-year-old on your baby registry. Now it's time to talk about weaning. So Willa no longer breastfeeds. It has been, this Thursday will be 14 days. So technically 2 weeks that she has now gone without breastfeeding. We did not stop directly after she turned 1, which was June 14th. I let her kind of get used to the idea, kind of saw how she did without it. She definitely fought it for the morning feed. But something that you guys really have to understand, and Cooper did this the exact same way, they self-weaned, and I don't give my babies baby food. So at 6 months old, when they're ready, so 6 months plus, I introduce table food to them through baby-led weaning. And baby-led weaning babies eat a lot of food, usually. Maybe not so much in the beginning, but they definitely get used to eating and consuming a lot of food, and their bellies are still small. Now, having said that, until about 11 months old, I always give breast before food. And that's what you're supposed to do. You always do, you know, food before one is just for fun. And that's just saying that, like, you know, their main source of nutrition should always be formula or breast milk before age 1. And then after 1, you want table food to be their main source of nutrition, and breastfeeding and formula can be like supplemental as well. So what I do is up until about 11 months, I will always give the breast, give the boob, and then sit them down, give them some table food, let them kind of enjoy table food and eat it. Now, around 10 months, 10 and a half months, I noticed both babies the exact same way started to cut their breastfeeding short, knowing that table food was coming and that they would prefer that. I'm okay with that because they were consuming so much food and they were so efficient at doing that. And I knew that very soon I would be stopping breastfeeding and I would really want them to just rely solely on that nutrition. So I would allow that during month 10. So if they wanted to feed and they really weren't feeding for that long, I would then just, like, you know, let them be done, and then I would sit them down and give them food. But I would always offer to breastfeed them 3 times a day before each table meal. And that didn't necessarily mean they were only eating 3 times. Willa really loves to eat right in the morning when she wakes up. She likes to cuddle and, like, just be all up in my scent and just, like, in my bod, which I loved. She just wanted to, like, snuggle me and breastfeed. And then at nighttime, sometimes when she was having a hard time going to sleep, she would want to kind of get, like, a top off and just kind of have, like, a little bit of breast milk, and then she would go to sleep fine. It almost, like, soothed her. So sometimes we would eat, you know, she would breastfeed 5-6 times a day. Sometimes it would just be 3 times. But when I reached that 11-month mark, when they turned 11 months, I would allow them to I kind of played it by ear. So let's say we were gonna have, like, a big breakfast. I would see if they wanted to breastfeed, and if they were just kind of like whatever about it, I didn't push it, and I just let them go straight to table food. And at that point, around like 11 and a half months, Willa was only really eating once, and that was in the morning. So she would wake up, she'd have a big feed, and then she would eat table food throughout, like, the rest of the day. She didn't want to breastfeed. There's a bug. Have I been bright this whole time? I swear. How's that? Is that better? I've been, like, finally getting a tan, and yet, like, my camera just doesn't want me to, like, live my life. Like, I can't just, like, look kind of tan. It has to, like, whitewash me like nobody's business. So back to what I was saying. When 12 months came around, I only had to worry about 1 feed. And she was really in love with that feed, let me tell you. So I didn't want to take the breast away from her at first. I didn't want to take it away from her. I was willing to, like, breastfeed her longer, but I hit a really low point in my life. And it was when, like, all of that crazy stuff was going on, where we thought Willa had lead poisoning. We almost thought we lost our house. Our dog passed away. Willa lost her health insurance, and, like, you guys know she has hypotonia, so, like, that's really scary for us. And I broke down one day and I was like, I think what would really help me is if I could start to focus a little bit more on myself and start to do a few things that I've been holding off on because I didn't want to do them while I was breastfeeding. So she had gone like 2 days without breastfeeding, and then she breastfed, and then she gone 1 day without breastfeeding, and then she breastfed. But when she breastfed, she fought it, and then ended up breastfeeding. So it wasn't like I just kind of like gave her the breast willy-nilly. She like was wanting it so bad and like attacking me for it. So I just gave it to her because like I don't want to hold it away from her, you know what I mean? I don't want to do that. So, and I've always liked the idea of having them wean naturally. I was able to do it with Cooper, and I was just hoping that I could do it with Willa too. But what ended up happening is I waited until a Thursday. So Dan's home Thursday through Sunday in the mornings, and he can help, you know, get them. And we noticed that Willa wanted to breastfeed because I would get her in the morning and bring her downstairs, and that's our one-on-one time that she wanted to like cuddle and breastfeed. So Dan for 3 days straight got the babies out of bed and completely took her through that time where she would normally breastfeed, and we were able, without any cries or tears from either one of us, we were able to go the 3 days without breastfeeding. And then Monday rolled around, and what I did was I made sure I had a milk ready to go, and in one of the cups that she enjoys the most, and I brought her downstairs. I gave her the milk, and she had like pulled at my shirt a little bit, but it was more of like a, hey, like, can I have the boob? Like, what are we doing here? And I kind of just said like, no, like there's no more, like there's no more milk. And I handed her her milk, and she like she downed her entire cow's milk, like loved it. If you guys are wondering what she drinks now, she drinks pasteurized, non-homogenized milk. My husband's a milkman. We get the freshest milk, cow's milk. So yes, my babies drink cow's milk. And no, I think the saying that like, oh, cow's milk is for cow babies is just kind of silly, but whatever. To each their own, right? So yeah, so she drinks cow's milk, and it worked. She has now gone 2 weeks without breastfeeding, and actually, it's weird, the thought of stopping breastfeeding was so much more upsetting than actually stopping breastfeeding. Once I stopped breastfeeding and kind of got over the idea, I'm actually really happy that I just went through with it, because my posture is already better. My neck doesn't hurt as much from just like naturally hunching over to feed her. I am able to start taking 5-HTP, which is just a supplement. I take that now, and magnesium, and it has helped drastically with my anxiety and depression and just like hormonal issues that I was experiencing. I instantly felt better after like day 3 of not breastfeeding. My hormones started to regulate, and I have to say, knock on wood, I have felt the best I have felt in a very long time in these past couple of days. Because when I stopped breastfeeding with Cooper, I was pregnant. So I was pregnant with Willa, so I never actually got to remember or experience how it felt not breastfeeding, not being pregnant, and like letting my body regulate. So knock on wood, I hope this stays. I feel fantastic, and the 5-HTP I think is actually really helping me, but it also could be a huge part in me stop breastfeeding. So that has been great. As far as my body, I weigh 146. I just started CrossFit again today, which is something I never thought I would go back to. Now, before babies, I had a 6-pack. I was doing handstand push-ups, rope climbs, competing in CrossFit. Huge part of my life that I don't really talk about. I absolutely loved it. I loved CrossFit. But after having Cooper, I went back to CrossFit. I actually did CrossFit my entire pregnancy with Cooper. But I went back to it afterwards, and I just couldn't do anything, and I was immature. I felt a little more immature at that time, where I knew my body would be different, but I didn't realize how different it would be. And I was only 6 weeks into motherhood, and like I had a baby. Like, how can 6 weeks be enough time to recover? But I went back to it thinking that I was going to be able to do all of these movements I used to be able to do, and I just felt like, honestly, like a fat mess. And those are such horrible things to say about yourself, you know? Like, if you wouldn't say that about somebody else, how dare you say that about yourself? And that's how I felt. And I was really mad at myself, and I was really upset, and I felt like, you know, like, how did I let myself get to this point? You know, I always paid attention to my fitness and like my nutrition, and for somebody who had never really been overweight and someone who had never really been out of shape, it was quite the humbling experience, and I did not take to it lightly. I cried. I remember doing step-ups because I couldn't do box jumps, and I was just crying during the workout. The person, the like instructor, thought that I was hurting myself, and I was like, nope, just, you know, completely humiliated and mad at my body. November 2016 was when I would have gone back to CrossFit. I had done CrossFit like years before that too, like 3 or 4 years, which is why I was in such good shape. And I went back, and so I haven't been back to a CrossFit box or / class since November 2016, and it is what, July 2019. So while I was having a little bit of a nervous breakdown during all of that stressful time this past month, in the back of my mind I had this little nudge to just be like, go back to CrossFit. And I just couldn't stop thinking about it. So I told Dan I was thinking about going to CrossFit, and he was like, go, 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 go. So I decided I'm gonna just do it, and I'll start from the beginning, and I'll let it be a humbling experience. And I just am not gonna be that mean to my body. I'm not going to just say like, I can't do this, I can't do that, or I'll never be able to do this again, because I can freaking do it. And now I'm not pregnant, and I'm not breastfeeding, and I can't actually put myself first. I can push myself as hard as I want to push myself, not have to worry about hurting the baby. I don't have to worry about, you know, diminishing my milk supply. I can just work out and just sweat and feel really good about it and push myself, you know. So I did that. I went to my first class today. I am so sweaty still. Like, I cannot even get, I just can't get like cool because it's just really hot. Guys, once again, okay, I feel the best I felt in a very long time. And I think that's because I finally have allowed my body to just like regulate. My period is due in 3 days. I am in like the bad part of your period where like I should be an emotional wreck right now, and I'm not. Like, I feel great. I feel so good. So yeah, so I think it's the HTP. Go check that out. But I also think that it has to do with the fact that I've just like, my hormones are better. But she is just like, she's just the most beautiful little baby, and she's so smart, and I just love her so much. Like, you know, you just like love your baby. You just love, you look at them and you're like, holy S-H-I-T. Like, I made that. Like, that is my beautiful, gorgeous, intelligent, just incredible daughter, and I made her. Like, half of me and half of my favorite person on this planet. Like, we made her. It's like, I love it. I just look at my babies and I'm like, you two are just like a dream. And then to think that we might have more. We might have some more babies. But anyway, that is it for this video. She's asleep right now in her little bed. A little cutie. Alrighty guys, it was really a fun 12 months, and I really hoped you enjoyed these videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, subscribe if you're new. Give this video a thumbs up. The last thumbs up on one of these videos. Until the next little babe. Bye. Hello? Hello? Oh, we gotta wash it. Wash it.